Hello everyone, welcome to Wicked West Books. My name is Meg West, this is Kestrel, and today I am doing my Realmathon TBR. I put myself in the realm of shadows, which also suits him because he is my little shadow. So one of the reasons that I picked the realm of shadows for my line of magic is that Cassidy said that they are very detail-oriented, and the first thing that I did when I decided to join this and create a TBR for it, I made a two-sided list that was notes and planned everything out that I wanted to do for this readathon. I have very detailed lists. I wrote down all of the prompts that are for this, and then I also put them in calligraphy in my reading journal. I did have to write them out in pencil and then go over them with a gel pen in order to make sure that I got that font just right. And while I wrote down both the positive and the negative prompts, I'm basically just going to be using the negative prompts. I am going to attack with this TBR that I have put together, and I would love to tell you exactly how I plan to do that. I even went through this TBR and did a pre-calculation of how many points I could take away from people while I was doing this. And I think the total that I came up with is 93 points. I can take away a combined 93 points from other people if I complete this TBR. So let's start this TBR off with The Space Wolf by Philip Sacramento. This is the first book in one of the Warhammer 40k series. I know very little about it. The main character, his name is Ragnar, and this is his life of how he gets to become the hero, I think he is. In some of the later books, it's his backstory of kind of how he came to be. This is my buddy read. This is my husband's choice for this month. He gets the odd months, I get the even ones, and I know very little about it. The writing style hasn't been bad. It is very, very obviously Norse mythology based. I mean, his name is Ragnar, so... But, yeah, it counts for a few of them. I'm very disappointed that this audiobook cover is gray, so it doesn't get to meet any of my real bonus points prompts for being in the realm of shadows, but it's a book that I'm reading and I am going to get the points for them that I can. The next one on my list is a Kindle book, and it is Curse the Dark by Leonie Grant. This is, from what I can tell, because I don't read the synopsis when it's a Kindle book, I just go into the book blind. Pretty blind anyway, not maybe completely blind, but pretty blind, because that's the way that I like to utilize my Kindle, is just to be kind of surprised with what I'm reading. This is a book that has a building on the cover, and that's one of the reasons that I chose it. I did put together a list of some of the Kindle books that I own that have buildings on it, and then I just picked a couple from that list in order to do this TBR, and this is one of them. This is, as far as I can tell, about a family of witches that needs some help, and instead of Grandma going to someone on the list to actually ask for the help that they need, they picked someone completely random and kidnapped her off the street. And they're all witches, including the person who was kidnapped, but she doesn't know it yet. So it's pretty interesting so far. I'm not too sure what prompts this is going to fill other than having a building on the cover, but that's part of the fun in reading the book and finding it out. It is also one of the shorter books that is on my Kindle, so that's one of the reasons I chose it. And then the next 4 books are the last 4 books in the Cleric Quintet by R.A. Salvatore. The fact that his name is R.A. Salvatore gives me points because reading an author who uses his initials is one of the 5-point ones. Coming out before 1918, which all of these really did, is extra points. A couple of the books have buildings on the cover. A couple of the books have shadow-related terms in the title. So this is going to be a whole lot of points for me because I'm reading it the audiobook version. And those have different covers than this cover on the bind-up. So The books in this series that I'm going to be reading are called In Sylvan Shadows, Night Masks, The Fallen Fortress, and The Chaos Curse. This is a series that I read the first time when I was probably about 15 or 16, which means that it's been about 17 years or so since the last time I read them. And I read book 1 last month, and it hit very, very high on the nostalgia factor for this series. So it's going to rake in a lot of points. A couple of them actually come in at negative 20 points apiece, and I am quite satisfied with that. This book, of course, is set in the Dungeons and Dragons realm, the same one as the game Baldur's Gate, and it is just like pure D&D fun. This one is super fun. There is a dwarf with green hair who wants to be a druid, and he doesn't use real words, and it's so much fun, especially in that first book, but it does get a little bit darker from there as the characters grow up and kind of discover the evil around them. And the last book is called The Chaos Curse. That is something that they interacted with in the first book, where it was kind of like a potion, a smoke in a bottle, that was released into the library that is in this isolated mountains that caused the priests of the library to act out on their basest instincts, even up to and past the point that acting that way would kill them. And then the last book that I have on this TBR, which is very short, is another Kindle book. This book is After Darkness Falls by May Sage. I know that this book has building on the cover, and I know that it involves vampires. It is a vampire romance. It's also very highly rated, so this will probably be a very fun read for me. It's also one of the shorter books that are on my Kindle, and that will help get more books, more points and stuff. Now that is a very short TBR, but I do have a list of other Kindle books that I could possibly read. I do have more books that are down here, and one of them I'm actually thinking of adding just now is Dark and Shallow Lies by Jenny Meyer Sane. She is coming to an area around me to do a book signing, I think at the end of this month, and it would be great if I actually read her book before going to see her again. So this book is a YA kind of thrillery kind of book, which is not something I have a whole lot of experience with, but I own it. It's signed. It says it is dark, which is a team-related title, and it's something that I've kind of been wanting to read anyway, because if I remember correctly, it takes place in Louisiana. It is Cajun young adult thriller mystery kind of stuff, and it's a genre that I have very little experience with, but this I think would be a good place to start considering I own it, and it's even signed. So that is it. That is all the books that I am dedicating myself to read this month. I think it's a very easily attainable goal, and I have a list of backups in case that doesn't work, including Jack of Thorns, In the Name of the Queen. I don't know if that counts as multiple books or one book, because I think it's actually a bind-up of a couple of books in Kindle format. 3 Days in Undead Shoes, Enchanted Crossroads, City of Storms, City of Masks, The Tale of the Hidden Village, and Variant Beginnings. Do I know anything about any of those books? No, I do not, but they all have buildings on the cover, and that's enough for them to count as bonus points for my team. And so I have a list to go through on the Kindle if I get caught up through that. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be checking my Libby app for holds that I can check out for audiobooks, because that's how I typically do most of my reading, and seeing what else I can throw on this TBR. I'm looking forward to it. I will check in with you again at the end of the month with my wrap-up and let you know how I actually did, and we will also be setting up another TBR for next month, which I'm so excited for, because next month is Aurelium. It is the magical readathon, and I am super over prepared this time. I even put together a brand new reading journal that's just for magical readathon. And I even filmed me putting together what I've got. I'm really proud of it, and I'm looking forward to adding to it next month and in August. and then next year and the year after, and I truly intend to just use this notebook for the Magical Readathon. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. If you're participating in the Realmathon, leave a comment down below letting me know which team that you're on. And I hope that you have a very wicked day.